Hello, everybody. It's Stephanie Grams, CEO and founder of the Keepsake Business Academy.com. And I have it's probably going to be a long video. So you might want to grab something to drink. I have my grape flavored water. And this is educational, kind of entertaining, but really, it's something that helps me think through business processes and hopefully it'll help you with your memory bear and keepsake business. So basically, I'm just going to give you the A to Z on memory bear and keepsake businesses. So starting a memory bear business, it's not just about crafting these beautiful keepsakes and heirloom items. It's about preserving memories for your customers and then also connecting with your customer on an emotional level. So you're preserving these memories. You've got all types of memories, right? You have the happy and the sad. Depending on who your customer base is, you might have a mixture of both, like I do. And so memory bears and keepsakes, all whenever I say memory bears or keepsakes, basically I'm talking about the whole keepsake business industry as a whole. But the memory bears and related keepsakes are made from upcycling someone's favorite clothing into a different type of item that they can hold on to. To build a successful business in this niche, it's essential to focus on quality, craftsmanship, customer service, and a whole lot more. So, the beginning, though, the very beginning is knowing who your customer is going to be. And so this is the ABCs of a successful memory bear business. And I hope to provide some insight and some strategies to help you create your own thriving business. So for the A's, we have addresses, accounting, accountant, and appearance. We also have um, authenticity and artistry. So, authenticity is the emotional connection you have with your customer. You need to know that you need to provide you are a valuable resource to that customer. And so you want to um, make sure you handle their clothing or fabric, other items, whatever items you make, whether it's ashes or breast milk, really anything, you take care of that when it's in your possession. And then artistry, you want to have quality craftsmanship. Don't send out a keepsake um, that is not top notch. And then for addresses, you may want to keep the addresses of your customers, but keep them in a secure location, like in your maybe Gmail, like the or Dropbox or something that is secure. You don't want their addresses floating around and for other people to get their hands onto. But the reason I say hold on to their addresses is because you may want to have a direct mail campaign once or twice a year to increase their knowledge of your services. Accounting or accountant, make sure you seek your own legal and tax advice from a professional. I can't give you any of that. I just know I use software online and I run my own taxes. But depending on your business and what your goals are, you may want to hire out for that. For B, I have budget, I have branding, and I have business operations. So for budgeting, you need to know what it's costing you for your website, any mailing, advertising, or public relations, any type of events. Know your budget, write down those numbers. For branding, whatever you do, don't get stuck on any one of these. If you're in that beginner or aspiring, it's easy to get stuck in one location and never move forward. Don't do that to yourself. Your business will always be growing and moving forward. So you can always revisit your branding later. And again, I've rebranded my business 2 or 3 different times, and that's never interrupted my customer service or anything like that. So But for your branding, have a strong brand identity. You want somebody to see your logo or the colors or the font and think of you when it comes to your branding. Think of all the different brands you use these days, or that you see these days in other corporations that remind you of who they are without actually seeing their words. Also use storytelling in your marketing. And then you have for your budgeting and finance go together. Keep track of all your expenses, material, labor, overhead, and make out your financial plan. That could have gone with F, but it's under B for right now. And then business operations, work efficiently. If you are always having to look for your rulers or your scissors or your mark be gone markers or your tailor's chalk, if you're always having to hunt down your tools, you're wasting valuable time. So if you have to take an entire weekend off just to organize your workspace, definitely do it. It's worth that time and investment. C is customer focus, which is customer service. You want to always provide excellent customer service. Hopefully you don't, but you may run into a customer that is just never happy or never satisfied. Hopefully you can avoid that in the very beginning stages when the person reaches out to you for a potential order. Get really good by asking questions so you can make sure that that's the perfect customer for you. Also, think about your calendar and some coupons. So a calendar is there's different types of calendars. You have your marketing and publicity calendar, you have your production calendar, you have your personal calendar, you have your business calendar. That's something that we can dive into at keepsakebusinessacademy.com. Typically, my students ask me more questions about that, but know your calendar, get them straight so you can work more efficiently. And then you have community engagement. So think of people in your town or your state, your location, 10, 20-mile radius, whatever, and get plugged in to where your potential customers are. I'm not saying attend every craft fair, every pop-up shop, every whatever. Just know where your customers are going to be, and then that's where you want to be. And then communication. Always communicate what's going on with the order while you're processing it so your customer is on the same page as you. Okay, D, dedication and delivery. Do not over promise. I don't know the saying. Anyways, there's a saying that goes with that. So don't over promise and then under whatever. But basically what you want to do is over deliver, deliver right, deliver what you promise. If you're giving somebody a date, it's going to be mailed out December 32nd at blah, blah, blah. Don't do that because you just don't know what you're going to run into a day or two before. So just give them a ballpark date. Delivery would be the week of. Do something like that. And then dedication is, be dedicated to what you're working on at that moment. Don't let your mind wander about the next order or the past customer, a different customer. Like truly focus on what you're working on right now. There was a YouTube series that I did on staying in your lane. And so I'm going to update that video shortly this summer. Right now it is May 30th? 2024. And so this summer I will go back through and do that series on claim your space, stay in your lane. It's really good to revisit that, especially on a quarterly basis. So you can look forward to that. If you are watching this video, make sure you're subscribed and ring the bell for notification. That way you're notified every time I go live or post a video. And then delivery, again, you want to know the time fulfillment and the shipping. I will walk you through how I do some shipping and packaging of my products so you can see how I do this and give you some ideas. And then delegation or delegating tasks. I delegate my housework. So I still have adults that live with me, my adult children. There's two that live with me. And I know with their unique abilities, there's certain things that they can do and certain things that they can't do. And so the certain things they can do is, they can put their own laundry away. And I was able to teach one daughter how to use the washer and dryer, so she's very good at that. She still asks she still asks questions, but for the most part, I can delegate certain things to my adult children. Again, I can't just let them do everything. That's not our situation. But think about where you live. If you're by yourself or you have very young children, when my children were very young and I was homeschooling all four of them, I used my crock pot a lot. Breakfast was typically like eggs and bacon or pancakes, waffles, things like that. Or lunch was like a sandwich and some soup. And then dinner was in the crock pot. So when I first got up in the morning, our meat or whatever was in the crock pot cooking because I knew dinner would be about 5:30 every night. So just pre-plan, work on your time management. All right, E, expertise and expansion, expenses, events, e-commerce. And so for expenses, keep a list of your tools, your supplies, advertising, marketing, team members. If you pay for landscaping, if you pay somebody else to come in and clean your house once a week, those are all expenses related to your business. Your expertise, develop your skills, start wherever you're at in your sewing. We're just going to talk about sewing real quick. If you are a memory bear maker and you look at other memory bear makers and you are like, wow, they do such a good job on that facial feature, that's something to work towards. It doesn't mean that you can't sell what you're doing now. Obviously, if you have orders and happy customers, you're doing something right. But if there's something particular you want to learn from another creator, then you can continue to expand. And education, I'm going to throw that in there. The educational part for the business side of this is definitely at, shameless plug here, keepsakebusinessacademy.com. And so we definitely dive more into the business side of the keepsake business and industry. Expansion, think about new products or items that maybe your customer would like to have you offer. And then we have events. Please listen to this closely. I'm not trying to persuade you either way, but events can cost you a lot of money and a lot of frustration where there is no return on your investment. ROI, return on investment. Are you attending events and never getting an order? Are you wasting money? Do you spend more money than you make at these events? Then maybe it's time to stop going to these events. Hear me out for just a second and scope it out. Like, visit the event first before you decide to be a vendor, because your customer base may not be anywhere in that event. They may not be a vendor, they may not be an attendee, and you're wasting your time and you're wasting talent. It's very frustrating to go to an event that you think is going to work for you in your business, just to waste all that time and energy that could have been spent somewhere else. So know who your customer base is, know them in and out, and know whether or not they are going to be walking that event. That same thing goes, I'm going on into F for fundraisers. Fundraisers will, listen, I do donate to fundraisers, but I do it different ways for different reasons. If I want my business, Graham's Designs LLC, I have different businesses under that LLC, right? If I was taking my memory bear services and that memory bear business was approached to give to a fundraiser, if that fundraiser makes no sense for my business, then my business is not going to give to that. Now, I might give to that under Stephanie Graham's the person, right? But I need to make sure that if my business is spending money somewhere, it needs to be smart about where it's giving time, and effort and money. All right, so that was for F, fundraisers. And feedback and flexibility is also for F. You need to be flexible in this business because you may have a customer place an order and you start designing the bear exactly how they want, and then mid order they say, hey, you know what, can you move this paw print to the other bear, can you add this saying to that bear, this change this patch. You have to be flexible, but you also have to know and have boundaries on when it's okay to make those flexible changes. And I'm not saying you should do it for free. The customer would obviously should know there's an additional charge. Don't assume it. Just make sure that they know that yes, you are very flexible and you're willing to make changes. However, that does cost an extra X amount of dollars because. So, make sure you do that. And then for F, I have forms. Think of invoicing, think of order forms, think of your policies, anything else considered a form. Do you need forms for vendor events? Do you need a form showing you have insurance? Think of all the types of forms you need in your business and get those together. G, and I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit fast. I try to slow down a little bit without being too slow. Okay. G, goals and growth. So we also have galas, giveaways, and gifts. So for goals, set a clear, achievable goal for your business growth and your business performance. Monitor your progress towards these goals on a regular basis. I do this. I set my quarterly goals, and I will still go through the quarterly planning, how I do this in my Memory Bear business. I will film that for you. I've had individuals ask how I do that. I've explained it, but I think you actually watching me do this will make more sense. So I write down my quarterly goals, my current quarter, and sometimes looking ahead. And I can explain that in another video. But you can also chart it on a weekly. I like to take my quarterly goals and then in my mind, I break it down weekly to just see where I'm at on what it is my goal is. And then growth, scaling up. Do you have that desire? Do you see that you just want to stick to one type of memory bear and that's it? Or do you see that maybe there's an opportunity for growth? Maybe not this quarter, but maybe by the third or fourth quarter of the year. Or maybe the growth will happen 1 year out. So think about all those big, audacious dreams that you have for your business. And then for galas and giveaways and gifts, do not fall into the mindset that you have to participate to grow your business. Again, know where your customers are. If your customers are always looking for freebies or giveaways to win, that is not a customer that is going to pay your bills. So keep that in mind. And yes, you may see that I give something to a gala or a giveaway, but just know that the thoughts behind that action may not be a business growth reason. Okay, we have business growth reasons and we have personal reasons. So know the difference and know what it is you're expecting. If you're expecting a return on investment as if you were to give at a gala, a fundraiser, or a giveaway or a gift, and you expect a return on investment of future orders, you may be very, very disappointed because that rarely happens. All right. The individuals that want to win these are not technically going to be the customer that places an order. Yes, it does happen, but I think it's more on the rare side. So just remember, you've got to know what you want out of every action that you take. H is for holidays, help, health, and I think that's all I have. So for holidays, again, there are evergreen holidays that happen year after year after year. And then there are special holidays that happen within your customer arena, so to speak. So know what they are and get them on your calendar. Help. Always offer help. If you see someone struggling, maybe your potential customer is so new to memory bears and keepsakes, maybe they're not asking the right questions. Be nice, be that person, be that voice of authority, be that guiding light, so to speak. Help them out. Maybe they don't know what they don't know. So, when I first started out, there were people that were not nice to me in this industry. They were snarky with their remarks. They told me to go use Google. And, that is just wrong. That is petty. And I am not that person. I'm not going to say, go use Google or Google will tell you. I will do my best to answer your question. And so I would think that you would want to pass that or, you know, pass that forward or whatever, if the biggest help you can do is say, hey, you know what? Stephanie Grams teaches this at keepsakebusinessacademy.com. That's still helping somebody because you're telling them exactly where to find the answer. Be a really good a customer assistant. Help your customer out. If they are wanting you to design this memory bear and you start laying out the pieces and it's like, oh, you know what? The facial features aren't going to show because that fabric is too dark or too busy. Take a picture and let your customer know, hey, this is the original design that you have, and this is one I thought maybe I would share with you just to see if you'd rather it look like this. Be helpful. Again, people don't know what they don't know. And then health. Have a work-life balance. You will see different changes in me over the next several months. I am on a health journey. I am almost 49 years old, and so I have played around with my health for the last long time, and it's to the point where it's staring me in the face, and there's something I need to do about it. So over the next several months, you might see something different about me. Just know I'm on a health journey, physically, and that will help me in every other aspect of my life. And then always ensure that you are safe. So think about your work area. Did you put your rotary cutter blade away? Are you using the rotary or scissors in a safe manner? Make sure anything that's sharp is put up, things like that. And so let's see, that was H. Okay, I is innovation, integrity, and invoices. I have a template, an invoice template. It's super generic. What I've done is I input every single product I offer along with all of the add-ons, and I put the beginning prices in there, and then that just saves me so much time where I just copy and paste whatever I need to do for my customer. I have used technology to do this. It was a disaster. I love technology. I use it. I build websites. I do all kinds of things in technology. But the one thing that I did not like was the automated invoicing for my particular business. And that's because there's so many different options that my customers can choose when they design a memory bear. It was just overwhelming for them. They it was just easier for me to go in, take 3 minutes and fix it myself. But as long as I have the template pre-made, literally takes me seconds to do this. Innovation. Think of something different you can do with your products. What is trending, or can you start your own trend? Think about innovation. And then integrity. Be honest in your practices. If you're going to charge one person, say you have two customers and they order the exact same thing, try to always be honest in your practices is what I'm saying. Again, integrity also is being ethical, and so please think about how you can reduce the fabric scraps and what you're going to do with them. Try to keep them out of the landfill by recycling scraps that your customers don't want back. All right. J is for just in time, joy, and joint ventures. So, joint ventures is also like collaborating. That could have been with C, with collaborating, but I saved it for JV, joint ventures. And so, a joint venture is, you know, an opportunity to get your business name out there, at any stage of your business. When you're aspiring, who says you cannot talk about your business, right? Maybe you're not ready to, maybe you're not set up right now today to take an order, but you will be in 30 or 60 days. Why do you have to, who says you have to wait 30 or 60 days before you start talking about your business? Start booking your calendar ahead of time. Um, just be smart about it. But again, that's for joint ventures. And then joy is aim to bring joy to your customers through your products, through your customer service, through your communication, through all of your social media posts. Think of bringing joy to someone else's life, and that someone would be your customer. Don't worry about everybody else. Always focus on your customer. And then just in time is an inventory management, and that just reduced waste and it increases efficiency. Again, we've talked about that throughout videos, even this video. Have your inventory where you can see it. Stay up to date on it. If you see that your mark be gone, you only have one, have another one that's not open. Um, if you have a specialty thread, if you open one spool, maybe it's time to order a second spool so you don't, waste time trying to find it later. Again, that's something nice about this business is you don't need a lot of inventory, but always having one backup of something you use on a regular basis is really good. That's just really good management. Okay, K. K is key contacts, knowledge, and kindness. And so your key contacts would be fans, followers, family members, even strangers. Even strangers can be a key contact. Maybe you're connected to somebody on Facebook who's connected to your target customer and you need to be introduced. Think of a nice, creative way, not spammy way to do that. Your knowledge, stay informed in the keepsake industry. Again, that's what we do at keepsakebusinessacademy.com. And as a student, as a paying student, you would be in the private student group. We talk about trends. We try to stay up to date on all of that. And then kindness. Treat every customer interaction with kindness and respect, even if they aren't kind to you, because you really don't know who you're talking to on the other side of that screen, and you don't want to ruin your own reputation. So be kind, and engage in the community. Say, hey, you know what? That bear looks great. Don't dog people if they've messed up on a bear. Maybe the ears look like, maybe the ear placement makes it look like a mouse. Maybe the nose is super punchy and crooked. You don't have to point that out unless the creator says, hey, how can I fix this nose? Or can you recommend ear placement? Then you can still say something, but say it with kindness. All right, L. All right, loyalty, leadership, layouts, licenses, and legalities. All right, so for layouts, I'm talking about your pictures and portfolios. When you take pictures, do your best to have a plain background so there's nothing distorted or throwing off the picture of what you're trying to show people. If you're trying to showcase your keepsakes, clear out the background, make it a solid color, white, beige, brown, black, whatever you need to do. Work with what you have. Don't go spending a lot of money on backgrounds. You could even, if you have a sun porch and you set it on a pretty chair that's not busy, something like that. Loyalty. Create a customer loyalty program. You want repeat customers. It's more return on your investment if you get a customer to come back or a customer to share word of mouth who you are and what you offer. So think of a loyalty program that will not cost you money. Remember, you can't be giving away any type of profit. You've got IRS bills to pay, electricity to pay, machines, sewing machines, quilting machines, embroidery machines. Cricket machines are very expensive to replace. So remember, you've got to continue to reinvest in that. And then leadership. Who says that you have to have a team to be in leadership? You are in leadership, right? You own a business. People are coming to you for advice and questions. That's leadership. So lead by example and inspire others to achieve excellence wherever they are. And then licenses and legalities. I need you to understand I can only share with you what I had to do. I can't give legal or tax advice. So you always have to go find your own. But I know in my experience, I needed to get a vendor's license in order to set up at events, and I needed to get liability insurance. I do not have customers coming into my house. I sew. I have a small area where I sew, like an office with a door to itself, where I do all my sewing. Customers do not come to my house because that's a whole nother ball game. I would have had to get zoning. I would have had to do all kinds of other licenses. So we do not do that. If I meet or deliver products to customers, we go somewhere else. We go to a public place like Walmart, Kroger, McDonald's parking lot. We go to a public place and I can pick up the fabric in payment there. And then when the item's done, we go back to the public place and I deliver it. I don't go to their home. They don't come to mine. All right. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. We're halfway through. All right, if you're here and this is helpful, please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Click that thumb. I need a thumbs up. Leave a heart or teddy bear emoji in the comments. Let me know that you have made it this far and that you like this content. And that helps me out. It doesn't cost you a dime to let YouTube know that I'm bringing quality information. M is marketing, mentorship, messages, month to month, and media. Okay. Marketing. Do you use a mix of strategies to reach your target customer? We go in depth in this at the keepsakebusinessacademy.com. So if you want the in depth of all of this, that's where you need to go. Mentorship. I offer the mentorship in the student only private group. That's where we give advice and support for your business. And we have messages. All right. The messages are, think about customer service, which is private between you and the customer, but also think about the social media posts that you're putting online. Is it appropriate? Is it good for your customers? Does it make sense for your customer, for your niche? All right. Month to month, please have your calendar. Even if you've been in business for a long time, life changes constantly and rapidly. So have a calendar, a month-to-month calendar, but also your quarterly calendar. Maybe I do too much, but for me, it's just enough. What I do is I have my yearly calendar where I set my goals. And then I break it down to quarterly. And then from there, I break it down to a month. And from there, it's a week. So I step everything. I take the big goal, which is one whole year, and I break it down to quarters. And then I break it down to weeks or months and then weeks. So I want to always have, basically, I'm accountable to myself. And then the IRS and the electric company and everything else. So calendars, your month-to-month calendars, and then your media, that's your marketing, your public relations, your community outreach. So think of all of that. Now we're on to N. So N is fun. Networking, niche, and notes I have. So notes, I go through dozens of post-it notes. I mean, I use post-it notes every single day, everywhere, for everything. I'm a post-it note taker. I buy in bulk from Temu because they're super cheap and they're super sticky and they come in colors. And so I'm a note taker. Keep your notes. If you make a note today, stick it in your calendar to revisit it, because maybe it doesn't have anything to do with today. Maybe it's like, I'll worry about it later. Don't lose it. Stick it. Networking. Look for industry events where your customers will be. And then a niche. Please clearly define and focus your target niche, because if you start to see that you're not really filling your calendar, or your things aren't going the way you planned, whatever that might be, perhaps you've not niched yourself enough, or you've niched yourself too much. All right. Organization, outreach, and office supplies. Okay. So, organization. Sorry, I said organizations. I meant organization. So, again, make sure that you have your tools set up in an organized fashion to save yourself some time, save yourself money, because again, you may not realize that you have extra fray check and you end up with 4 bottles because you didn't know that's what you had. And then you're wasting money. Outreach, do get involved. Get involved with outreach. Again, you have your business reasons and then you have your personal reasons. So I do a combination of both. I have a business outreach and a personal outreach. Just get known. You don't always have to go out with your business hat on, so to speak, because you are your business, right? But I'm not going to wear my business logo to church. People can get to know me on a personal basis, and then eventually they'll know that I have a business. So do what's right for you. And then, so we talked about office supplies. I just told you about notes. I go through a lot of Post-its, so notes, ink, pens, printer ink, paper, whatever it is that you need, postage stamps, a scale, whatever is office supply that you need. I go through a lot of thumbtacks and a dry erase markers, so it adds up. All of this adds up quickly. All right, P is for passion, pricing, and passwords. All right, I have 100 or more passwords, no joke. Keep those in a secure location. I don't have them written out anywhere. I just have them saved in one digital account. That way they're all safe. Passion, love what you do. If you start out offering one particular type of memory bear and you're really bored with it and you're not really interested in it anymore, you can either retire that one and introduce a new one, or keep the old one and add the new one and do what you need. But just always love what you do. That's going to reflect in the quality of your products, and it's going to inspire others. So if you ever get to the point where you're just not passionate about it anymore, maybe it's time just to take a break. Maybe you need a weekend off, just reevaluate where you're at and what you want. And then pricing, always be competitive, but don't always try to undercut somebody, because the person that you're trying to undercut may not be in this as a business owner or a sewpreneur, sewing entrepreneur. Anyways, I do own sewpreneur.com as well. But maybe they're a hobbyist, right? Or maybe they don't truly understand the business side of this. And so you're following something that's not going to work for you. You'll be burned out. You'll be broke. Your customers will not be happy. Remember, your customers need you to show up. They need you to be passionate and joyful, and they need you to show up. Sorry, I had to fix my chair. All right. And then Q, we're almost done. Quality, queries, and quick reference. All right, so for quick references, I keep a private Pinterest board of reference material related to Keepsake business industry as a whole, not just one particular thing. And I don't share that with anybody. It's just for me. I make notes. I'll send that pin to my email address with a note in the body of it, so I know why I sent that to myself. So keep little references. If you need references for zip codes and maybe you have to charge a different price for shipping, again, make your own little references of shipping. I also have references of box sizes that I need for each keepsake that I make and ship, because the last thing I want to do is to run out of a particular box size. Now, what I do is I also up or recycle boxes. So if I order from a different company like Amazon or Temu, or well, not Temu, they don't ship in boxes. At least not to me, they don't. But any type of shipping box you receive, if it's still in working order, save that and upcycle that box. I explain that. My customers know that. If they've been with me anytime or have watched my videos, they know I upcycle boxes. Just prepare yourself, get rid of all those extra markings that aren't branded to your business. You don't want, I don't think you want that on the box. Quality, maintain high standards for all of your products. If there's something not working out, maybe you're in the middle of this memory bear and the fabric is not working out the way the customer wanted, have that line of communication open and say, this is what's happening with this fabric. I have done A, B, C, and D to fix this. Do you mind if I replace it with a different piece of fabric from this other article of clothing, and show them what's happening? I've never had a customer get upset about that, because they know from the get-go that the clothes are already thin, they're already worn, and you are doing your best to use stabilizer and specialty glue and fray check and all that to make sure it works properly. But again, you want high standards and you want that good quality. And then queries, that's just basically have a FAQ section on your website, because some people, when they're going to the website to check you out, they have questions, but they don't really want to text you or call you or email you or message you. So have an FAQ page available for them. And piggybacking on that, if you have an FAQ page on your website and somebody sends you a message through Messenger or text message, all you do is have to copy and paste that link, because you already know the questions and the answers are already there. All right. R, reputation, resources, receipts, and requests. I have kept an ongoing list of customer requests since I started this in like 2015. I think it was 2015. I don't know. Time's going so quickly, I can't keep track. I occasionally will get a request for weighted memory bears that will weigh whatever their baby weighed at birth. And I do not make those. I just don't. I never will. There is a special, it takes specialty items to do that, but I'm not into that. I'm not really interested in making that. Now, if my daughter wants me to make her one for my grandchildren, I will do that. But I will not offer that as a service online. But that's just something, a request that came in. I put a date, and I actually keep a track every time I get a request for something like that. Like, wow, is this a trend? Is this an ongoing trend? Is this a dying trend? Things like that. Let's see here. The resources, source high quality materials, the safety eyes, the floss, the embroidery needle, or heat transfer vinyl, whatever it is you use to customize your items. Use the higher quality. You don't want that to start peeling and falling apart. And then reputation is build a reputation of reliability and quality. Keep those positive reviews. Please keep in mind, not every review is going to be positive, and you may end up with a customer who's just never satisfied, or they are a freebie seeker who has learned that if they complain, they can get the product for free and get their money back. So please keep that in mind, that it's not technically always going to be you, and that a customer may be that kind of person. S, sustainability, social media, speaking engagements, and schedule. Sustainability, I touched on this a few different times, but upcycle and recycle packaging materials that are still high quality and in good condition. If something is stained or damped or ruined or ripped, obviously you want to recycle that and not use that in your business. But if you have a good box and you have that good packaging paper and you have good high quality cellophane bags, um, reuse those. Just keep them, try to do your best to keep a lot of this stuff out of the landfill. Um, Social media, you can't just post something and then run. Have a way to go back and see if somebody has left you a comment. I do my best. Sometimes it falls through the cracks, but I truly do my best to make sure that I engage as much as I possibly can. And then create compelling content that makes sense to your customers. It showcases your products and it tells a story. You want to be fun, right? Informative. Speaking engagements can be local or online, and there's a reason for that, but we're going to jump to two because we're already 45 minutes into this video, or T, not two. We're moving on to T, technology, training, and what else do we have? And oh yes, taxes. Okay, taxes, you'll need to find somebody to help you with that because I don't give tax advice. So please know whatever you need to do with taxes. I know they change all the time. Training, you can get further in-depth training at keepsakebusinessacademy.com. Always invest in the training to develop your skills, and that will overflow into any type of team. Attend workshops and seminars, stay up to date in the industry. Again, you can do that all through the academy. Keepsakebusinessacademy.com. And then technology, try to improve your processes. If you have a website, does it still look up to date, or is it outdated? Are the pictures outdated? Are you showing memory bears that were made 10, 15 years ago? Update all of that. Show people that you're still current, that you still offer your services. The pictures you took 10 years ago may not be relevant to your customer base today because fashion trends change, and your customer is going to see if you are subconsciously, they're going to notice if all you're doing is showing outdated pictures. They're going to start to question whether or not you still have the skills you had 10 years ago. So invest in updating all of that. Understanding, uniqueness, and unexpected. So plan for the unplanned, sicknesses, weather, change in orders. How do you plan for the unplanned? Well, if you have tornado season, if you have hurricane season, you can kind of plan the season ahead, like have safety measures. So if you're accepting clothes and it's being shipped to you during those bad weather seasons, have those weatherproof boxes. Put them in a weatherproof location, like top shelf in an indoor office with double doors, or a safe or something like that. So try to do your best with the unexpected, unplanned. Have a clause that, if you were to get sick or something, that's there was a backup person that would handle your order. Just have something in place so your customer's not without their clothes and they're not without their products. Understand the needs and preferences of your customers. I talk about that all the time, but it's the one thing that trips most of us up in the memory bear and keepsake industry, is not taking the time to get to know your customer and to really be choosy on who it is you're trying to provide a service for. And uniqueness, is there something that you can do that sets you aside from somebody else doing the exact same memory bear pattern? All right. Vision, value, vacation, videos, and volunteer. Volunteering, again, is it for personal or business reasons? Do you expect to get something, a return on investment? Are you volunteering your time by physically going to a food bank or teaching a class at church, leading a workshop? Are you voluntarily giving money? Think about what you're doing, why you're doing that. Vision, do you have long-term goals? Did you write them down? Do you have a clear vision for the future of your business? Do you have a strategic plan in place? What about value? Do you show that you love your customers, and how do you do that? Do you clearly communicate this with your products, your offerings, the way you communicate? Social media posts, pictures. Think about everything that you put out there and how it's being viewed from that customer. Vacation. Take time off. Even if you just take the day off from your sewing studio to go watch TV, take a vacation. You need it. You need a break. It's very hard for me to take a break from family, from jobs, from businesses, from teaching, but I have to do it. There was a time that I didn't do it, and if you go back to this video and I talk about my lifestyle changes, that's where it led me to where I am today because I never prioritized my own health. So please don't do that. Don't do not doing that. Make sure you do prioritize your health. Get up every hour and walk for 10 minutes if you can, or do whatever you physically can. Every hour, take a little break. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you can do. All right. All right, let's see here. Videos. You don't have to show your face on a video. I mean, you can put your camera and face it to your sewing and just take videos of your sewing if you want to. Sometimes you don't even need a voiceover. There are videos out here in the sewing community. Nobody's talking. They hear the sound of the machine, and that's it. And people are watching it. So give that some idea or some thought. W, website, workmanship, and withholdings. So withholdings, I said taxes as well, but don't just think about taxes on sales. Write down everything that you've donated. Did you donate time? Did you donate products? Did you donate a coupon? Write all that down because that's IRS information, right? Website, is it professional? Is it user friendly? It does not have to be big, it does not have to be massive. I always recommend that you get a self-hosted website so you can at least have your About You page, your FAQ page, contact page, and an About page. Because what's going to happen is somebody's going to want to check you out, right? They're going to want to see the actual person behind that keepsake. They want to get to know you a little bit. And there's nothing worse than doing all this work trying to get your business going, and all of a sudden you're sending all this traffic to somebody else, eBay, Etsy, Wix, or whatever platform you're using. And if you go to Etsy anytime, you start to see, oh, they recommend this shop and this shop and this shop. Guess what? You are competing and you're losing money. I don't want to do that. I try not to send anybody to my Etsy shop. Occasionally, when I'm updating my personal website, I will redirect there, but it's very temporary. It's just because I don't want to lose people. But I truly recommend that you self-host your own website. All right. Workmanship. Pay attention to the detail in every single item you produce. If you get a large order, I typically get large orders. Occasionally I'll get one thing at a time, but typically I work with large groups and I get large orders and very detailed in each item that they order. So I pay special attention to every single thing, every piece of communication, every picture that's been sent. I do not just assume I know what that customer wants, because I'm going to guarantee you're going to get it wrong. Because the mental picture they have is not going to be the mental picture that you have, and that's okay. That's life. So the work to work around that is to just ask. Say, "Oh, Sally, I received your shipment today. This is how I have it laid out. I just want to make sure that you and I are on the same page before I start cutting your fabric or clothing." So definitely do that. All right. That was workmanship X. Okay, there is something actually X, and it's X factor, excellent, and extra forms. I know it's kind of generic. I needed something for X, but the X factor is to stand out. Identify what sets your business apart and what it makes your X factor. So that could be your brand, personality, your story, something really cool that you do with your memory bears that nobody else does. Just think about it. And then excellence, always strive for excellence in everything you do. If you're tired and you're wore down or you're not feeling well, you can take some time off. Let your customer know that that's, you don't tell your customer you're not feeling well, nothing like that, obviously. But what you need to do is think about, okay, if you told your customer to give you 4 to 6 weeks, that doesn't mean you have to get it done in 3 weeks, right? You can still get the items done in 4 weeks, and they're still going to be happy because you met the guy. You didn't wait 6 weeks. So, calendar, schedule, niche, those are all keywords here. Y is year and yield and yearly plan. So yield. You want to focus on a strategy to enhance your profitability. Please don't just follow what somebody else is doing because it looks like they're doing a great job. You really, truly don't know. You would be surprised at how many people in our industry put on a really good show of being super busy and super successful when in reality they've gone to the thrift store, they've purchased items, clothes in bulk, and made up these stories just to make you feel like, or just to make others think that they're super successful. Please don't fall for that. There's little telltale signs and videos that let you know whether or not that person was really working on a customer's order or not. Okay, so after a few years of being in this industry, you'll definitely be able to see that. Year round, consider seasonal offerings. We go in depth in the Keepsake businessacademy.com on that. And zip codes, zeal, and zero. Okay, so the zeal is, it's passionate enthusiasm. Approach your business with passion, enthusiasm, because your zeal will inspire your team and attract customers. And when I say your team, that could be your family and friends that are around you. If you're passionate about this, it's going to show in everything you do, even when you don't sit around and talk about this, because maybe they're just bored and they don't care. But they're going to see that zeal in you, and that's going to make them happy for you, and they're going to start rooting you on. So consider that. Always remember what you like about this type of industry. It's not for everybody. I don't sew clothes. I could, I have, but I don't. I'm not passionate. I have no zeal for it. It is not my thing. And I have designers who love to make clothes that won't touch a memory barrier. They're like, I did one. I'll never do it again. So just think about why you love this and how it comes through. And then, zero defects. Strive for zero. If all you can think of this whole video is strive for zero, you want zero issues, right? You want zero quality control problems. You want zero waste, zero defects. Focus on the zero if you have to, right? If you get through your day and you're like, instead of saying, oh, I didn't get an order today, you could twist that around and say, I got zero problems today. I'm very excited about that. And then zip codes. Clearly define how far you're willing to travel. If you pick up orders or deliver orders, clearly define the zip codes you're going to work with. And I hope that this A through Z video was helpful, and I hope you can rewind this and take notes. There's a lot of information in this video, but by breaking it down A through Z, I hope that was helpful for you. Basically, building a successful memory bear and keepsake business, it requires dedication and creativity, a deep understanding of what your customers' needs are, and you want to maintain that the high standards of craftsmanship. You want to implement effective marketing strategies. You want to keep zeal and passion and joy and stay focused. Work through dry spells. Get help, a mentor, mentorship. You can get all of that through the keepsakebusinessacademy.com. Again, I'm Stephanie Grams. I'm CEO and founder of Keepsake Business Academy, owner of Grams Designs LLC, located in Athens, Ohio, but I serve all of the United States. Have a great day. Bye, guys.